That was a nice little tap on the knee by Rachel Maddow there.
Yeah.
Break.
That was kind of aggressive. That was aggro.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, we'll be back with some serious
there's nothing
questions.
wrong with it. You're making it sound like she dove it like, all right, dude.
I don't know. I feel
Give me
weird.
that thing.
I feel weird about like touching guests and
Yeah.
politicians.
Okay, interesting. So what do we think about the style of the forum so far? One-on-one and a little bit more intimate. They're sitting enormously close to one another, right?
Yeah.
Everything's close-ups, as Jimmy pointed out. I don't know. Do we like it? Not like it?
I don't like the close-ups. No, too close.
So,
Pull
bring
back.
it back. Pull it back a little
Pull
bit.
back. I don't need to.
Can
don't need to be
we get
up.
Jimmy's camera actually pulled back a little bit?
Thank you. Pull back. Pull.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I
so-
think there's pros and cons of each format, right? Like, I kind of like the debate format because they can have like rebuttals and they can like fight one another, right? On policy ideas, obviously. In this case, she's just interviewing them, right? So
Yeah.
she's just doing a 2-hour-long interview of the, front runners for the Democratic Party, and that's it. There's a good part of that, which means, hey, it's a serious conversation, hopefully, and we kind of get a sense of who they really are. But that first segment was so incredibly boring, I couldn't handle it.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's
Yeah.
keeping it real.
Wow. You're
Okay,
right.
I came to a conclusion as Anna was talking, but John, your thoughts?
I'm wondering now what your conclusion was. But so I think that if we had to choose, thankfully we don't, but if we had to choose between the two formats, I would prefer an actual debate, my idealistic sort of debate where they actually hold the people to account for the things that they say. But since the DNC wants there to be a limit on 6, and this is apparently an end round where we actually get more in-depth looks into their policies, and it is Rachel Maddow. She's going to ask, I think, poorly framed questions at times, and I get what you're saying that some of it's playing devil's advocate, which I certainly like, but I think that you should be a little bit more clear that that's what you're doing rather than simply working to reinforce what I think is completely false political frames of important issues. But that said, I do like that she is asking, to some extent, follow-up questions. I do want to see a more in-depth look at the candidates. Sorry.
So real quick, my conclusion on this is when we first came in, I was like, oh, these are just interviews, just like Anna said. But now I kind of like it because we're getting a little bit more in-depth answer that isn't just trite talking points shouted over one another in a debate.
But that was one long talking point.
Well, I know
That's
that
all
Martin
that was.
O'Malley does a lot of talking
That's
points.
exactly
Yeah.
the
All right, but let's go. Let's keep watching.
Should there be a draft?
Should there be a war tax?